welcome to my channel. I'm sure you saw the thumbnail. When I thought this season couldn't get much worse, it did. I will be talking about episodes 8 and 9 of Love is Blind season 5, streaming now on Netflix. Next week we'll have the finale. But this season has been so frustrating because I thought the casting was awful. It was the worst casting of all seasons. We pick up episode 8 at the barbecue / get together with the pod squad. Why is Uche still getting airtime? I cannot with this man anymore. I think Netflix wanted to clear their name out by having Uche said that Lydia's a stalker. She's the one that found out he got cast, because I went on Uche's Instagram last week and he was replying to comments saying, people are like, oh, you're gonna come out with receipts, and he said, I wait until next week's episode, and if they don't show what I want them to show, I will open my mouth, I will come out with receipts. Follow me here, because I don't think the math is mathing in the situation, because Uche was telling the girls that Lydia's a stalker and she went through his stuff and found out he got cast. He was already cast. And then she went and applied. I don't know, because I think when Netflix cast people, they already have the bunch cast. I don't know how the timeline works, that Lydia saw that he was cast, and then she went right away in her computer and got the application, and then she got cast. I 99% believe that Netflix was the one that knew that Lydia and Uche, they knew each other and they dated before, and then intentionally cast them. I thought it was hilarious when Uche was trying to tell the girls at the barbecue that, yeah, Lydia, she found out that I was here and she wanted to make it look like it was fate. And then the girls started arguing. Uche's reaction, he's like, can I finish? Can I finish, please? This is about me. This is my last episode to shine. Let me have my 15 minutes of fame. This man is so self-absorbed. I think he's like the most self-absorbed cast member that the show had since maybe Bartiz. Another great dramatic moment was when Uche called Miriam bitter, and then that set her off. Oh, she went off on him. She got up and she said, I am not Lydia or Aaliyah. I would not cry for you. I will read you for the filth that you are. And Uche tried. He tried to drag her down, but then he ran off like a little bitch. Still at the barbecue, we had the quadruple talk still happening between Easy, Stacy, Chris, and Joni. And then they asked Chris, why didn't he propose to Joni? And then Joni said that, oh, I had just broken up with Easy, and Easy was like, don't say that. Don't say that term. It wasn't a breakup because we were never together. She asked me to be her boyfriend and I said no. And I was just watching this whole thing happen. You all sounded like a bunch of middle schoolers. She said I was her boyfriend and no, he's not my boyfriend. Then we broke up. Just move on. Chris and Joni, great. You guys are together. Be happy. Fine. Me and Stacy, good. We're great. We're engaged. We're going to get married. Great. I think because there are only 2 couples walking down the aisle, Netflix was trying to milk all the drama from the barbecue as much as they could. And speaking of walking down the aisle, did you realize that the finale, next week's episode, will fall on Friday the 13th? And I know they didn't get married or will get married on that day, but it's still like the episode falls on Friday the 13th. That's not a good sign. Let's move on from the high school drama of the barbecue and talk about the 2 couples that did make it. Milton and Lydia. Milton, true MVP of the season. Remember how we were all questioning what a 30-year-old sees in a 24-year-old? Is he 25 now? He's probably 25 now. But we're all questioning his age. Oh, he's just a kid. He needs to grow still. He's not ready for marriage. And he ended up being the most mature person out of everyone. He's emotionally intelligent. I love his conflict resolution, and I also love the way he's very fair and then also soft-spoken. He was cool as a cucumber when Uche at the barbecue was going on and on about Lydia and the screenshots and all of that. And Milton was like sitting there like, dude, I don't give a bleep. And then when he started talking about physics and stuff, he was saying that, oh, you know, there's like X, Y, and Z dimensions, and then your perspective, it's your reality. My perspective, it's my reality. I was like, I think that confused Uche so much. And when he was leaving and he tells Uche, I'll message you in the group chat. Oh, not the group chat, not the group chat. The shade of it all, it wasn't even like, I'm not going to private message you anymore because I don't like you. I'll talk to you in the group chat. And then Lydia goes and meets Milton's family, and she's giving them all the right answers to their questions. Even Milton's mom, she pointed out, she said, your answers are too perfect, almost like you scripted. And I was like, yes, because from the beginning, Lydia rubbed me the wrong way. She's grown on me a little bit, but it's still, I don't know, there's something about Lydia that I feel like she's living her own telenovela. Like this whole show for her, it's a novella. And I think Milton's family, they see it right through her. So they go on their final date, Milton and Lydia, to the, I think it's the National History Museum of Houston. And I just want to point it out because they get into an argument, which I'll get to it. But Lydia, it's angry eating. She's just like, she's probably like, oh, Netflix paid for this fancy 5-course meal. I am going to finish. And she was just like, yes, Milton. Do you think I like this? No, Milton, you don't pick up. She was like angry eating, and he was just like folding his napkin. Their whole disagreement or little fight that they had was because she was pointed out that he doesn't pick up his clothes or his towels, leave dishes in the sink for 3 days, put his plate on the couch. And he was complaining about the way she handled Uche's situation, that she got, you know, super fired up and too emotional. Okay, I see both sides. When someone attacks you, especially if they say something that is not true about you, yeah, of course you're going to, you know, fight back and you're going to be upset about it. So I see Lydia's side, especially because there's 2 words that a man should never, ever describe a woman as. We hate this. Crazy, and not even like, oh, you crazy, but you're acting crazy. Crazy and emotional. And I think that's what got to Lydia and made her so upset, because Milton was criticizing an essential part of who she is. From the get-go, Lydia has always described herself as, I am loud and I am emotional. It's a compromise between the 2 of them because, okay, she wants him to, you know, pick up the towels, do the dishes, and he wants her to be more level-headed in situations like that. But with Lydia, I got the feeling that she thinks she's perfect and she doesn't need to change anything, and there's no room for self-improvement. Both of them want each other to change. One, it's character-wise, and the other one, I think it's easier because it's just habits. You know, he can change those habits. So it's doable. It's just not doable overnight or within a week of living together and then walking down the aisle. It takes time. Moving on to Stacy and Easy. So after the barbecue, they go back home and have this conversation, and they got to an argument. It's never a good idea from all seasons after they have, because every season they have the pod squad get together, either to celebrate someone's birthday or to have a little reunion, and the alcohol's flowing. And then when the couples go back home and have any sort of conversation, it never ends well. Stacey didn't seem drunk to me when she went back home. I knew she was like drinking White Claws, but Easy, you could tell. He was like slurring his words. But anyway, so their argument was that she was saying he doesn't do enough for her. That whole conversation just made Stacey seem more high maintenance than we already think she is. This is what she wants from Easy. She wants to come home and have a bath drawn for her. She wants her feet rubbed. She wants a home cooked meal. She wants a massage. And I was like, are you for real, girl? What's next? After the foot rub, the home cooked meal, do you want to be flown to Paris in a private jet? I get when you're in a relationship, you have to try hard to keep the romance going. But the way she was saying seems like she just wants all this like life of luxury every day. And he got upset. He said, I think I'm not good enough for you. You make me feel like I'm not good enough for you. And speaking of private jet, they have their final date. Easy takes, and I don't know if it was his idea or Netflix idea, but takes her to this like private jet or like a fighter jet or something, just the two of them and the pilot. And Easy was saying that her dad pointed out that she loves flying private. So Easy was kind of showing off that he took her on this date. But in my head, it's just like, you didn't pay for this. It's on Netflix budget. Netflix paid for this date. What's going to happen in real life when she wants to fly private and you can't afford it? Easy got all emotional when they're at home having that same conversation because, you know, he said, oh, I'm not good enough for you. He goes in the closet to cry. Why is everyone on Love is Blind that wants personal space and wants to cry goes in the closet? Didn't this happen with like Danielle in Mexico, Jackie, and now Izzy? If I was on the show and I wanted like personal space and privacy, I would go into the bathroom, lock myself in the bathroom, and not let the cameras in. So the next day, Izzy goes to Stacy's workplace and brings her a gift. This, I thought it was cute. She pulls out this plunger. It's an inside joke between the two of them that we know about because when she was in Mexico, she clogged the toilet and Izzy said, yeah, Stacy, she can rip some ass. They had to call maintenance. So the plunger, it's like this cute inside joke between them. And speaking of workplace, we find out that she's a Pilates instructor. So tell me how a Pilates instructor can afford that big of a house that she has because she owns the house. Or was that house bought with daddy's money? Is Stacy as independent as she wants us to think she is, or she wants to find a partner to take over her dad's place financially? You know what I think? I think Stacy, and there's nothing wrong with that, of wanting to find a wealthy partner. You know, we all have standards. I think she should go to a 5-star hotel and sit at the lounge bar. She will find some like rich man, a doctor or a CEO or something, or maybe go to a country club and find some rich guy there. You know, I don't think like Easy will be able to keep up with her lifestyle. And then on the last day of staying on the apartment that Netflix got to them, please tell me this was a joke. Tell me he was just trying to be funny. The way Easy was packing his luggage with all his clothes, of like a mountain of clothes just tossed inside the luggage, not even trying to like fold them. And Stacey's like folding her clothes, all organized. I would have been more upset about the way he was packing his luggage and not folding his clothes than to his bad credit. So let's address the bad credit situation. We see the vibe, it's not good, like the mood is heavy when they're packing. And then he said, we had this conversation last night, and she said, yeah, I don't know if I can trust you. And I was like, uh-oh, something from the past popped up, maybe an ex-girlfriend. And no, they had this talk that I think they were at a gas station. I don't know if they're buying something or fill up the tank. And she asked him if he had a credit card, and he doesn't have a credit card. So she finds out that he had $3,500 in debt, which is not bad. I thought it was going to be like $20,000 or something. And he said that it's not debt anymore. It's all paid off. It's just bad credit. I just thought it was so interesting that Stacy was so surprised about the bad credit information, because didn't Joni at the women's headquarters, after she got dumped, she blurted out to all the girls that Easy had bad credit out of spite? Wasn't Stacy there? It just proved to me that Easy and Johnny had more important, serious conversations in the pods than with Stacy. Stacy was all fun and excitement and superficial stuff in the pods. And now that they're in the real world, they're having to talk about the hard stuff. Usually my favorite part of the last couple of episodes of Love is Blind, any season, is when the girls go wedding dress shopping. As this whole season was, the wedding dress shopping was underwhelming. I did not like any of those dresses. Lydia and Stacy, they both tried on 2 dresses and then picked one. I didn't like any of those 4 dresses. And speaking of wedding dress shopping, do you guys want to hear some tea? I don't know if you already saw on the internet or not, but I'll fill you in. Renee, one of the participants on the experiment, she was there at the dress fitting at the bridal place. She was wearing white. And I thought, oh, maybe she's just there to support Lydia, because Lydia, the bride, was wearing white. Stacy was wearing like some jacket with Miss Zapata on the back. But Renee was there, and I was like, what is Renee doing there? Maybe as a friend, but why is she wearing white? And I was like, totally like, didn't care. But then I read on the internet that Renee was actually there to do her own dress shopping. She was engaged to Carter. Remember Carter? Big beard, bald, bigger guy, and he's like lumberjack, loves fishing. And if you notice, Carter was also at the men's tuxedo fitting. This whole time they were engaged. Renee and Carter made all the way through the experiment, all the way to the altar, but Netflix cut it out because Renee, that whole time that she was on the show, she had a boyfriend back at home and she's married to him currently. So Netflix had to edit everything out because she didn't disclose that. Predictions. I know most people think that Izzy and Stacy will say yes and they will get married. I don't think so, because I think the money is such a big issue for Stacy still. I think she would say no, but I think they will continue dating, because when I went on her Instagram, he's replying to comments and he's commenting on her posts, and all very like friendly comments and flirty, like in a way that you think they're still together. Lydia will probably say yes, but I don't think they will last. Milton is so intelligent that he doesn't fall for her manipulations, and that upsets her. That's why she gets so defensive when they have an argument. I just don't see the two of them as a good match. So these were my thoughts on episode 8 and 9 of Love is Blind season 5. What are your predictions between Izzy and Stacy and Milton and Lydia? Who do you think it's still together? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the little bell notification button so you don't miss any future video, and I'll see you next time.